I want to address students and parents of these students who are considering test optional as an opportunity in college admissions. And I coach students routinely, 300 a year, remotely anyway. And I see two categories of kids who fall into that I'm going the test optional route and not submitting SAT or ACT scores to colleges. One is the student who's flustered, doesn't think that she or he can get into a certain level. Another who says, well, I probably can get to a certain level on the SAT or ACT, but I don't want to put in the work. So to both categories, I say, yes, there is some work, but it is less of a burden than a varsity sport that you don't especially like, okay? And almost certainly the work you put in to study for the math and reading and perhaps science is more valuable long-term than the extra volleyball practice that you take and don't especially like. So the student who sees test optional, which is a phrase that is misused, as an opening, I want to make sure you realize it's not an opening. It's not an opportunity. It is a self-chosen closure that you are closing off many good schools, appealing schools that you might want to be at by not submitting scores. Now, there are some exceptions for underprivileged minorities. There are some exceptions for recruitable athletes. But the vast majority of students should not use test optional as, oh, I have a new way of getting in. No, by not submitting decent scores, you're not going to get in to competitive colleges. And what a shame when some study can get you there. My firm, in at most 16 months, shouldn't take that long, but we will get any student to a 1300 or better SAT score. If they're going the ACT route, any student, no matter what your background, to a high 20s ACT score. We have that kind of success. The student who is resigned to not doing the SAT or the ACT at a high level, closing off many college offers, is at age 16 cutting off opportunities. Now, I understand if you're mid-20s and you've worked at a sport and then have to say, I'm stopping, I can't get to the professional level. Okay. Or I've endeavored to become a firefighter and I can't hack it. In your mid-20s, okay. But at age 16, not okay. Because there's so many opportunities that with a little bit of pressing, you will find. I have another category of students who I think are misled by even the term test optional. I have another video for that. Thank you for listening here. I'm Mark Greenstein.